In a surprise turn of events, an iconic downtown Irish pub and eatery is set to close by the end of this week.
That's right. After decades of serving up pork chop sandwiches and cold pints of Guinness, Pug Mahon's Irish pub and its neighboring businesses are forced to close.
Now, this news just trickling out after the death of pub owner Bill McIntyre, better known as Mac, just last week.
As Q2's Samantha Sullivan reports now, the news of the closure comes as a huge surprise to employees at all three businesses in the building.
I got a phone call yesterday that was just very brief, saying that Saturday night is the last night that the building will be open.
Alyssa Landsverk took over Guido's Pizza less than a year ago. Now she'll have to close the doors.
Just shock, and there is so much involved, so many people's lives. There is a crew of waitresses over at Pug's who've been there 25, 30 years. There's kitchen staff that work day in and day out for Mac. There's the casino attendant next door has been there longer than I've been here.
Pug Mahon's, which has occupied its location since 1983, and the Bookie Casino were owned by Bill McIntyre. He also owned Guido's before gifting the business to Landsverk last year. McIntyre passed away on Saturday morning after battling cancer.
He was a wonderful, wonderful man. He took me in, like I said, basically off the streets, not knowing me from Adam, and gave me then last year everything in here and said that he just wanted to see me successful.
Landsverk said there was never a lease signed, and since McIntyre owned and operated the other businesses, there doesn't seem to be anything they can do to keep them from being shut down.
I know that towards the end, the last year or so, he was looking at his options as far as selling, being done, retiring, and I just think it all happened a little bit faster than anybody was ready for.
As for the future, Landsverk says they're working to find a new location and see what the next chapter brings.
There was some grief and some shock, but really my attitude is whenever a door is closed in your face or there's doors that you're looking at to open, the ugliest ones, once you open them, always have the most beautiful scenery on the other side. And so I believe that everything happens for a reason, and we are just flowing like water through this situation, and we're going to make the best out of it.
In Billings, Samantha Sullivan, MTN News.
Thank you, Samantha.
We have reached out to the members of the McIntyre family for more information on the closures and plans for the building, but have not yet heard back.
Downtown Billings just isn't going to be the same without Pug Mahon. Since 1984, St. Patrick's Day has been the biggest day of the year at Pug's, celebrating the annual tradition. And how else?
But with green beer, corned beef and cabbage, and smiles to go around. After all, it is the one day of the year where everyone gets to be Irish.
There's two kinds of people in this world, Irish and those that wish they were.
He is definitely going to be missed.
Yes.
Now, while the future of Pug Mahon's remains to be seen, its sudden closure definitely will leave a hole in the upcoming St. Patrick's Day pub crawl.
Yes, it will.